Welcome back, folks. Today we've got the Holt Haptic that we're going to do a little bit of maintenance on, and hopefully here in a few days we might do a full review on this. This is one of my knives that has, to me, one of the finest examples of craftsmanship and milling. Uh, just the detail work on this thing is pretty crazy. The action is so smooth. Um, it's just glass. Drop shut. I wish it were a little more hydraulic, but if you like drop shut knives, this thing is drop shut. All right, let's go ahead and take it apart. The pivot is a T15, and it would be helpful if I got the right side of the knife to get that. We're going to place that in some alcohol, and then the body screws are just T8s. Look at that! Look at that backspacer. Just awesome. Right, we'll get those out of there. And set these to the side. And in very short order, we have the Holt Haptic apart. And I wanted to show this. Look at the milling on the inside of the scales. That's pretty cool. And you can tell it's a little grimy, so we're going to get it cleaned up. Let's drop that in there. And I'll show this side of the blade as well. The griminess as well as the how it's milled out. Pretty grimy. I'm gonna get that cleaned up. Drop the bearings in some alcohol and let that be soaking for a moment. You can tell it's they've got the serial number on the inside as well as the rest of this, and you'll notice that this is didn't have a regular detent ball, but actually has a detent nub, and that set screw there is for adjusting the detent. You can make it a little softer or more firm as you so desire. All right, let's get some. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and take this completely apart, I do believe, and make sure that we get all of the grit and grime out of here. I want it to be nice and sparkly clean. All right. Just gently get this out. All right. And you can see that's why I wanted to take it out and get it really, really clean. All right. Start wiping it down. Zoom out just a tad. Now that I've shown some of the details, I want to try to make sure I try to stay on camera here as much as possible. And this sucker is a bit grimy. Zirconium insets there, or pivot collars. And then just the milling on the clip. It's really nice. If you have an opportunity to get a Holt Haptic, I would recommend it. Alright, let's see if we can get this one cleaned up. Let's switch to another fresh alcohol pad. Get all that nice internal milling cleaned up. Alright. Let's get the back spacer. And look at the back spacer where the blade fits in when it's put back together correctly. That is a good indication of how perfectly centered these knives are. Alright, this is really bad. Let's get that stuff off of there. Alright. And this side as well. I guess that's proof that I have used and carried and used this knife as much stuff's inside there. Get a fresh one and wipe down again, just to make sure I've got all this stuff out of here. And then we're going to tackle the blade itself. Alright. Get a little grit and grime there. And I'm going to get a cotton swab and try to get that as clean as possible. Alright. Looking pretty good. Alright. Okay, I like that. Gonna get some of these edges as well. Alright. Okay. Time for a fresh alcohol pad. And let's get some of these. Let's get these bearings out and wipe them down. Look at that. And that washer for that one side. Got that. Let's get our pivot barrel. And I'm going to be real careful because you see that one side there is kind of a D shape. Okay. We'll get a fresh cotton swab and see if we can't get the inside cleaned a little bit. Let that dry. Go ahead and get these 2 pivot screws out. And again, I like to take the screw itself and a cotton swab and just try to use my fingernail to clean those threads out, because I want to put some fresh thread locker on it, and I want to try to get that old stuff out of there. Alright, clean up my mess. Alright, now to put this thing back together, let's see what we can do here. Alright, put that in first. Folks, if you ever want to figure if you can do something the most awkward way, try to do it on camera. It makes it everything extra special awkward. Alright. Okay. I like that. Again, there's it. It's cleaned up a bit. Let's see, how do we want to do this? I believe that we want to go ahead and set this one in. And I was wrong, it's not D-shaped, it is actually flattened on both sides of that barrel. Alright, we're going to get that in place. And I'm going to grab a dab of this Loctite stick that I use, and one of these pivot screws, and put just a dab of, a little bit much. Let's get some of that off. Alright, let's see if we can get this one on. Tighten that down, nice and snug. Alright. Alright, so what we can do here, and I see just a tad in there that I'd like to get out of there. I think that may have been a bit of the cotton swab, but I wanted to get that out. Alright, let's put a rolling the bearings and making sure everything's out of those and that they're moving nice and freely. And put one in place. I'm going to use some of this Gunny Glide. I use that from time to time, as well as the other oils that I sometimes use. Alright. And I want to go ahead and let's just go ahead and do this. Put this on. I'm going to put just a dab on top of the detent nub. Again, it doesn't take a whole lot of oil. Slide that in place. We're going to put that there. Alright. Put that there, and we're going to take a look at this and put it to the side. It's kind of got some wear on it. All right. I'm gonna grab these. Body screws that's got the screw still in it, and our awesome back spacer, and see if I can't get this put in correctly. All right, I'm gonna grab the other pivot screw, see if I can't get a dab of Loctite on that one. All right. And go ahead and get that one started to hold everything in place. All right. Don't have to tighten it down very much. We'll get that in just a second. I get these body screws in, and then we will adjust that pivot just a tad. And one more. Get that one put in. But as you can tell, our centering is already there. All right, let's back off just a tad. Yep. Back off just a tad there. No blade play. Drops into place, and look at that centering. Look at the tolerances here on that side. It's just a very good machining. Very beautiful knife. And drop shut like you wouldn't believe. Alright, so that's it. I do appreciate you watching. If you would, please subscribe. It would mean a whole lot to me if you would do that. And turn on notifications. Leave any comments, suggestions, how I may improve things, or whatever that you feel might be helpful. And again, I do appreciate you watching. Hope to see y'all soon. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.